They say every storage facility has its secrets, but no one ever imagines those secrets will follow them home. What happened to 27-year-old delivery driver Jenna in the fall of 2018 is still considered one of the most disturbing real-life supernatural encounters reported in Colorado. It began with something small, just a favor for a co-worker, and ended with police, investigators, and an unexplained recording that experts still refuse to comment on publicly. Jenna was covering an evening delivery route for her co-worker, Marcus, who had called in sick. He left her detailed instructions, including one stop that wasn't on the company app. "Just drop the small parcel in my storage unit," he texted. "It's Unit 209. I'll update the system later." It wasn't unusual. People sometimes use their drivers for simple personal errands. And Jenna, needing extra hours, agreed without a second thought. The storage facility sat on the edge of Aurora, an older complex with flickering yellow lights and long concrete corridors that amplified every footstep. The front office was closed for the night, but her code worked at the gate. At first glance, nothing seemed strange. The air was cold enough to fog her breath, even though it wasn't winter yet. When she parked beside Building C, the facility lights behind her buzzed, then abruptly flickered off. Only the motion lights ahead clicked on, one after another, like something was walking to the corridor before her. She felt uneasy, but she kept going. Unit 209 was halfway down the row. The metal door was already unlocked, the latch barely hanging in place. Marcus must have forgotten to secure it, she thought, but when she pulled the door up, the smell hit her. Old wood, rust, damp concrete, and something else she couldn't identify. She raised her phone flashlight. The unit was almost empty, except for a single wooden wardrobe standing in the middle. It was tall, antique, uneven colored, and carved with symbols she didn't recognize. It didn't match Marcus's personality at all. He was modern, minimalist, and too practical to store something so heavy and fragile. On instinct, she texted him a photo. "Is this yours?" No response. She waited, staring at the wardrobe through the dim beam of her phone. She could swear it had not been in the photo Marcus once showed her of his unit. It was supposed to contain old tools and camping equipment. Nothing like this. The parcel in her hand suddenly felt heavier. She laid it on top of the wardrobe just to get the task done. The moment the box touched the wood, something inside the wardrobe thumped. Once, hard. She nearly dropped her phone. She stepped back, heart pounding. Then it thumped again, like a fist hitting from the inside. She told herself it was an animal, a raccoon, a large rat, something that climbed in. But raccoons didn't hit in slow, deliberate knocks. 3 knocks, then silence. She should have left. Any sensible person would have. But curiosity, fear, and disbelief are a dangerous mix. She stepped closer. "Hello," she whispered. The wardrobe creaked. Not the thumping again this time. It creaked as if something inside shifted its weight. Slowly, the left door trembled, just for a second, then stilled. Her phone buzzed. A message from Marcus finally came through. The text read, "Don't open it. Just leave. I'm coming." She looked at the wardrobe. She wasn't planning to open it. But the right door suddenly shifted a few inches on its own, scraping on the concrete floor. Air escaped from the gap, cold, stale, and wrong. Her flashlight flickered as if reacting to it. Her breath fog heavier. The wardrobe door opened wider. Something was inside. Not an animal. Not a person. A shape, long, thin, and curled into the darkness like a twisted branch. At first she thought it was a mannequin, its limbs stiff, its joints bent at unnatural angles. But then its fingers twitched. Slow, jerking, like they were remembering how to move. Her body refused to move. Her voice stuck in her throat. She could only watch as the figure shifted forward, its pale face emerging into the weak light of her phone. Its eyes were black holes. not empty, moving. Like something was crawling behind them. Her brain snapped into panic. She turned and ran, sprinting down the hallway. Motion lights flicked on one by one, fast, too fast, like something was triggering them right behind her. She didn't dare look back. Her keys fumbled in her shaking hands as she threw herself into her car. When the engine turned over, she slammed the doors and locked them. Only then did she check the rearview mirror. There was nothing. No one. The storage corridor was empty. She sped out of the facility, her lungs burning, hands trembling. When she reached the main road, Marcus called. She answered immediately, shouting into the phone, "What is in that wardrobe?" But he wasn't shouting back. He was crying. Through choked breaths, he explained the story, one she would never forget. He had bought the wardrobe from an estate sale in rural Louisiana months earlier. The family selling it warned him not to take it. They said the previous owner believed something clung to it, something old and angry and bound to the wood like a parasite. They'd locked it away for decades after it began moving on its own. Marcus didn't believe any of it, but the craftsmanship was valuable, so he bought it. A week later, he began hearing knocks inside it. 3 knocks. Always 3. Objects in his house moved. He would wake up to find the wardrobe door open. He saw a face, once a pale one with black eyes, staring from inside before vanishing. So he moved it into the storage unit, hoping distance would help. It didn't. And now, whatever was inside had reacted to Jenna's presence. He begged her not to go back, not to drive near the facility, not to return his calls until morning. But in the early hours of the next day, her phone buzzed again. A message from Marcus. This one was short. "It's gone." She didn't respond. She was too scared to even move. Later that afternoon, the police called her after receiving a missing person report. Marcus had disappeared from the storage facility. The surveillance cameras showed him entering Building C at 1:14 a.m. The footage then glitched for 2 minutes. When it returned, Unit 209 stood wide open and Marcus was gone. The wardrobe was empty, but the video captured one thing something investigators still refused to release. A shape crawling out of the unit on long, distorted limbs. Not quickly, not aggressively, almost patiently, as if it knew where it was going. Jenna tried to move on with her life, but she often dreamed of the wardrobe, the pale face, the black, crawling eyes. Last year, she received an unmarked envelope at her new apartment. Inside was a photo, a grainy surveillance still of her car leaving the storage facility that night. In the background, behind the yellow lights, a tall figure was standing in the corridor of Building C, half shadow, half silhouette, watching her drive away. It hadn't been there before. Now she checks every closet before she sleeps, every cabinet, every shadow behind a door. She's convinced the wardrobe didn't contain something trapped. It contained something patient, something looking for a new home. And she's terrified it already found one.